Heck of a game. Obviously, a kind of a wild one. Great first half. Second half kind of got a little funky there for us, but really proud of the guys. We give up a 15-point lead. I think they even took a 3-point lead, and our guys didn't weather or crater or anything like that. We just weathered the storm. We find a way to finally get some stops, get out, play our style of basketball. Felt like, when they adjusted to the zone, we were getting great looks. Sometimes the execution wasn't good. We were on the same page. We were overthinking it. But we made some good plays. We just missed some layups, missed some threes. Those fall. It's a different story. But better execution late in the game against the zone. Great job of getting some stops, getting out and running. Loved how we played in the first half. Sharing the ball, our defensive activity, our commitment to the shooters out there. Making it tough on Jimmy Butler. We got to obviously keep him off the free throw line. Like, let him get double-digit free throw attempts. But overall, against a really good team, top 5 team in the league, to kind of bounce back, knowing that they were going to raise their pressure with a 15-point lead and do something different. Really proud of our guys, how we overcame.
Coach, when a team comes back on you after a big lead and then they throw a quirky zone defense at you, how do you keep the team composed in the midst of all the chaos?
Just keeping them positive, showing them how I felt like our defense was good. They hit some crazy shots to kind of build off of that momentum from switching to zone. I thought our defense was actually in a pretty good spot, and then our offense not being able to score against the zone definitely hurt us. We'll go back and watch the film, and we've seen it for moments. That's the biggest stretch we've seen it for sure in one single game. But just kept encouraging them, execute this play, drive, kick. We get an open shot, take it, and then we just had to kind of manufacture a couple extra drives, a couple more opportunities to get inside the zone, and I thought the guys did a great job. I think with under 3 minutes or so, and we got better. It's definitely a tough defense to go against. Credit the Heat, they executed great with their athleticism, their length out there. They made it tough, but I also thought we got some great looks. And other nights when those are falling, everything goes great, but when you're missing, definitely put some pressure on you.
Taylor, you mentioned you give up the big lead, but you didn't crater. What does that tell you about, I guess, the growth going on now that you're 27 games into the season? What does that tell you about just how this team's growing?
Monumental growth. There were times in that first month of the season where we would get punched in the mouth, or we had a lead, or it was a close game and the team just kind of went off. And whether it was defensive struggles or obviously offensive struggles, puts a lot of pressure on your defense, puts a lot of pressure on yourself. But our guys, even in the midst of that second half run that they were going on, you wouldn't believe the communication that the guys had. Constant communication, positive, hey, you be here, I'm going to find you, all this, keep getting stops. No one was, overthinking it, putting their heads down, which, were some of the moments earlier in the season. But the guys on the court clapping their hands, picking up their teammate, getting to the next play, trying to get something to make happen. And then obviously we broke through, late in the fourth quarter. But that's all because our positive spirit just stayed true. And that's a credit to this team. It's what it's been like for, a solid month now. I mean, that's what we're building here. We want guys to come in, regardless of the outcome or what's happening in a stretch of the game or stretch of games. We just keep, plugging along, keep working, keep playing together, keep competing, and you keep doing that, more good things happen for you.
Taylor, in terms of shot profile and movement, was that first half the way that you kind of an ideal for what you want your offense to look like?
Yeah, I mean, and against multiple coverages, they threw a lot of different coverages out there. I thought our next action, a phrase that we use, they were reading, they were blitzing, switching, or they were double teaming, and we were getting the ball out quick. It's something that all of our guards have been working on, not just our point guards. Our bigs rolling. If that first look wasn't there, getting to the second side, I tell the guys, it doesn't matter what coverage the other team's in. If we just keep playing multiple actions, keep sharing the ball, keep getting a piece of the paint, I thought that was huge. Late passes, lobs, kickouts for threes. I mean, that's the beauty of what our offense can be. And it's a credit to our guys just embracing it. Set a tone for the game. Obviously, they had to adjust their defense tonight to kind of take that away. And as I told them after the game, I said, when a team does that, it's a credit to you guys. But when we see different defenses, keep playing the same way. Keep getting a piece of the paint. Keep driving, multiple actions, all that. Get layups, get threes. But I'm super proud of how it is, how our guys are trending offensively.
We've seen a lot more of John Jaren and Brendan Clark playing together in the last week or so. I guess why didn't we see that lineup a whole lot in the first 20 games or so? And why, if you go into that lineup a lot more in the last week, they've had some success out there together?
Yeah, that's just a product of, studying our team more, figuring out what combinations are working well, easing some young guys into the fold. Obviously Jaw's off to a heck of a start. Brandon's off to a heck of a start as rookie. JJ's, off to a heck of a start now too and getting rolling. You know, it's just, you know, studying our team and finding the right time to find those combinations. You know, different guys are stepping up, you know, at different times. You know, Solo coming off the bench, I don't think he started, you know, in the rotation right off the bat. You know, DeAnthony Melton's making a huge impact too, and just finding everyone in their right, you know, comfort zone, and those guys are having success with it. So it gives me confidence to keep going back to those rotations.
Coach, you've been stressing all season how you wanted Jaren to get up a lot of three-point shots. He was 5 of 11 today, and he hit a huge three-pointer to put the team up 4 in the closing minutes. How big has Jaren been lately as far as his three-point shooting is concerned?
I mean, it's been huge. Obviously, a lot of threes. I mean, obviously, the majority of his shots tonight were threes, but I think in other games too, whether it was rolls, you know, post touches, drives, you know, he's just got great variety and balance in his game. You know, and every game's going to be a little bit different. So knowing that he's a lethal player at all 3 levels, it's been huge. You know, obviously we're a team that, you know, as any team, you're making shots, especially threes. Things are going well for you. I think he's in a great spot, and that's just credit to all the work he's been putting in about taking the threes when they're available. His teammates are finding him. He's, you know, taking some aggressive ones at times, but we want him to be aggressive, but he's finding the right balance of how to, you know, get inside and get outside, diversify his game, and, you know, he's a beneficiary of it, and as are we.
Time for 2 more.
Coach, you mentioned briefly DeAnthony Melton's name. You get the 5th foul on Brooks. You bring him in. He runs with that unit the rest of the game. He's a terrific rebounder for his size. Can you talk about how he's evolved and a guy that you can have the confidence of going to in a crunch time, clutch situations?
Sure. I mean, DeAnthony's, you know, put in a lot of work, and, you know, we knew when he got his opportunity to make the most of it. You know, it's a credit to him. And, you know, I think a phrase I used a couple of games ago is he's just got a knack for the ball, whether it's getting a deflection, you know, whether it's getting a steal, whether it's getting a 50-50 ball, or as you said tonight. I mean, he had one possession where I think he had like 2 or 3 offensive rebounds. We ended up getting a big 3. He's just got a knack for the ball. You know, another guy that can be a creator out there for you. He's, you know, got confidence in his shot off the bounce, you know, catch and shoot. Really proud of the development and, you know, commitment to the work every day he's putting into his shot. But a guy that can make an impact. You know, that's what we love about, you know, him and a lot of the guys on our team and our program, guys that can make an impact on both ends of the floor. He's unique. He can play off the ball, on the ball. So, you know, when you know, Dylan got his 5th foul, throwing DeAnthony in, he helped spark a run. You know, so we just kind of rode with it, and it was great to see him finish a game for us.
Valanciunas hasn't been consistently closing games. Obviously tonight he didn't either. Is that just matchup based? You're looking for different combinations on defense. What's the?
Yeah, sometimes it's matchup based. Like you know, the other night in the Washington game, and you know, sometimes it's matchup based, and you know, you just kind of read the 4th quarter. You know, I think he's playing well, JJ's playing well, Brandon's playing well, Solo's playing well. So trying to juggle who's, you know, starting the 4th quarter, who's finishing the 4th quarter, you kind of just make a gut call and roll with it. But I'm super proud. I mean, he set a tone for us tonight. First half, you know, start of the second half. So, you know, it's obviously tough decisions to make, but I love the place he's at. He had some big blocks for us tonight, you know, man in the paint, you know, knocking down threes, finishes around the rim. So, you know, obviously when you have a lot of depth, sometimes it's, you know, a tough call for a coach to see who finishes. So it'll obviously constantly evolve, you know, game to game.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thanks, everyone.